Hey there, folks. It is 9:46 a.m. Thursday, January 18th, 2018. A lot of the folk that are coming in to this YouTube channel right now, the reason why I do that, a lot of stuff I talk about is time sensitive. So I'm leaving something up there that you can look at and open up and get a good idea of when something happened. Excuse me. There's a lot of things I've put on video. There's a lot of things that are in the book, especially book number 3, the creation series that I've written. Some of the books get sold by Amazon.com, but most of them get sold off the spiritualfoundation.com. It goes directly to the publisher, but some people get it off of Amazon, whatever's easy. But there's 3 different books. There's the first book that talks about how everything got started, where you came from, who's this God thing. While we're at it, I'm uploading a video right now talking about talking with people who are gone. I'll give you examples and explain things. It's a short one for me, which is good. It's 30 minutes, around 30 minutes. But where does God thing come from? What is it? What's going on? When you understand how creation actually started, who's what, where, how, and why it happened, even if it's at a happenstance, that's where your first being came from. First dimension, happenstance, first one. When you understand all that, everything starts falling into place. And book number 2 is how everything was living together, fighting each other. The source war that finally set everything up to change the format of creation from abusive to compassion and freedom. Compassion is an important thing, but you got to be free to be yourself. But then you have to have no one beating on you. So that's all coming into play now. Anyway, then the third book is finishing up what's been going on the last couple of years, and then what's coming in the future, all the new bodies that you're going to have lives in. Another universe is not this one. Happy Coffee Day. This is from Surface Coffee Bar in Wahiawa, Hawaii. It's on the island of Oahu. I have a very strong tie there. As a matter of fact, part of me is actually there. It's going to stay there. Anyway, it's Deanna coming in the house. We have snow outside now. In Atlanta, Georgia. Anyway, so people talk, we're going to talk about the Annunaki, about these spirit nets and traps and all this other crazy stuff. But something had popped up about why people, other spirit guides don't talk to God. They don't ask spirit if there is a God or not. Folks, what everyone's calling God, as you all that listen to me understand, but those of you that are new coming in, there's never been a God. There's the original first being that split itself into male and female because it was the original. It was lonely. It had problems. It had too much heavy particulate matter from the first dimension attached to it. It gets sucked into the chemical reaction that happened through happenstance. No one was directing it. And boom, it was created. And it started going nuts about being alone, and it had too much heavy particulate matter, so its frequencies were lower. denser, and it had an attitude with loneliness, and that turned out to be a nightmare. I'm not going to go through that. The vast amount of people who listen to me, they've heard that, and I don't want to keep beating their heads in. If you want to know how that happened, just get Creation Book 1, okay? Or there's stuff in my videos. I don't know how to put them together where they're logged properly. But there's a way to find it in there, I guess, keywords or something. I don't know. You're all the experts with YouTube. I'm not. I just use it as a forum to feed you information so you can have it. I'll be out of here soon, and it's going to stay there for a good while. So anyway, there never was a God. I mean, people use the word God. There was something else on the end that popped up in my face. I was just trying to load up the video, and then bam, bam, I got hit with these things, and I was asked to look at it and, leaned in that direction, and I did. The gods are returning for change, and there's no such thing as a God. Come on. If anything was cool enough for you to want to call it a God and to praise it, number one, it wouldn't want to be praised. It wouldn't want to be called God. And number two, it would do everything in its power not to let you do that, because it wouldn't want it. Things are so simple, folks. And this thing about a spirit net everywhere, the reptilian soul catcher, the soul net, it traps you. And then what? Does it shake and bake and you're back in a body or something? They can't control that. Spirit controls that. Okay? A lot of what they call psychics and mediums, I call them what they are, metaphysical practitioners. No one's gifted, folks. Everyone has abilities that's part of you. Some of you are luckier that as you went through life, that barrier between the right and left side of your brain was thinner, so you were more aware about things, but that's been taken down in just about everyone. Anyone that could use it. That happened around April of 2012. So you have abilities. These belong to you. They're part of you. It's just like saying your right arm's a gift. No, it's not. It's part of you. And the body you put in to have a life, you can say it's a gift, but it's also a jail to torture you. That's why life is rough. People would love to say, God will never give you more than you can handle. What the hell you call suicide? Okay? But anyway, let's leave that alone, because I just had to throw that out there and let's let it go. We have more important things to talk about. This reptilian soul catching that, folks, there's nothing like that. There's no such thing. A lot of mediums, this is what I started saying earlier, a lot of mediums, psychics, whatever, they've seen, a lot of people have seen this silver strand going from them. It goes off towards the right. Okay, it's to the right, about 1.5 foot away from you, a little. It's not exactly to your side, a little bit forward, and it goes up about 2.5 feet, and it's gone. They say about 2.5 feet is what most people say, 2 to 2.5 feet, something like that. That's the field. That's the source field that attaches you to yourself, your spirit, and to the body, and it literally goes to the other side, second dimension. That's what the second dimension is. A lot of other psychics have said, I see your angels floating 3 foot off the ground behind you. That's where the other side is. That's like ground level. So, anyway, when the body dies, it goes right home. Okay? Nothing stops it. Nothing can stop it. The only thing that's able to stop that would be the alpha source on the other side. And right now that thing isn't there. It's going to be there very soon. A few months, it'll be there. So anyway, don't let people. Don't get worried about that. Don't let people try to tell you that. Just you agree to disagree. Don't listen to them, or just leave. You want to explain it to them a little better. If you listen to some of my videos, you'll find out for yourself. I've given you all the ammo you need, all the help to not just awaken yourself, but help other people understand it. Remember, the better you learn how to do it for yourself, the more you're going to help them. And hopefully these are people you really care about. If not, you just walk away, leave them alone. Okay. Catch my breath here for a minute. All right, so, there's a lot of talk about reptilian. Let's go there, okay? And let's start. There's a few different reptilian races out of here. This stone is it's a combination of Fuchsite and green aventurine. I love this stuff. Any stone, you hold it with your fingertips like this, relax. Take a nice full breath. Those of you that don't know me yet, I've got a few diseases, nothing catchy, but my lung diseases, two of them, COPD and CLI, I've had forever, and they're taking a toll. But anyway, you hold it, the energy goes in over here to your core, and then this way into your core. Some people call it a Kundalini. How do you make the Kundalini work? Folks, that's your energy flowing all the time, okay? So when you hold it like this, it goes inside, stays here, and then goes whoomp, and it makes like a metal rod inside you, a nice green metal rod. The darker the green, the better the physical healing, but it's always healing. Green aventurine itself tends to be a lighter color, which is spirit healing of the spirit. So this stone is very rare, and it's got a bit of both of them in it. So anyway, and Deanna has that stuff at thespiritualfoundation.com. Again, this isn't a commercial, but the stuff is there. I've made it. I've cranked it up with the source that's inside me. I call myself creation's janitor. I've been called that, actually. Well, I am. That's what I do. Also, we have these cards. Hurry and get this over with. We have these rune cards. 53 of them. There's information here on the pineal. That's unicorn. Unicorn and dragon. That's funny. The wild card's coming up. That's Isa. Relaxed. This is the Elder Fruit Arc with another over 25 more of them. This is about like chrysalis, birth. Ingus, I believe. This is harmony. It's not Hagalas. This is fire up your scanner. What's a scanner? Scanner's right here. Okay, where the forehead goes up and the top of the head is, that part right in the middle, that's your scanner, this lump you have in your head. Your scanner is where your remote view and everything else, from having gotten into people's brains, cranking them up for, I don't know how many years now. I've done it, I've done thousands of times. Let's just say that I've done it over 2,000 times. To 2,000 people, excuse me. Over 2,000. Never had a problem with it. So, FBI and Homeland Security came to my house, wanting to know, okay, what the hell's going on? Who the hell are you? Anyway, I see and feel things. Okay, I'm really strong. I'm trying to gather information and everything I can to help you. That's why I had to write these books, a creation series up there. I'll throw the book in there later. Also, I'll show you a copy of the Quantitative Electroencephalogram that was done with myself, my friend Martin Pera. We're friends now. Out in Sweden, and it's right here in Duluth. We did a test. The lady, she's a lab tech. Didn't even, who's this guy? She didn't know who he was, who I was, but he just paid for it. And then she did a test on him. A quantitative electroencephalogram test. It's some high-tech medical equipment. Okay, it's not like a MRI, but it's still very high-tech. So they did a test on the brain waves. It's one of these nets you wear and all these wires attached, and it measures the electromagnetic output in your brain. Electromagnetic output, that energy that goes through you, it's like a form of electricity, but it's not quite. That's the fifth energy that was brought to four other ones already coming together that created the original first being that all of us came from. Okay. Anyway, so they did a test on him, and I stayed away from his brain, and then they did a test again. I went into him, and everything goes through the roof. And then she took everything off of them and everything else, and my energy still didn't want to let loose, and it just driving her machine nutty. Like I said, she was out in Sweden. There's a video that's very poor. That's 2 hours long, just under 2 hours long, a few minutes shy of it. But you can hear and see a lot of stuff going on there. Anyway, that's why I can see this stuff and do this stuff. It's what I am. I'm different, but it's no big deal. It's just that's how I know this stuff. All I'm trying to offer is reason to think about what I'm saying and take a good look at it for yourself. The only truth there is what you understand for yourself. I told people that a long time ago. Just what do you do? Well, you can see what you know. That's crazy. What church are you attached to? What's your philosophy? I said, no church. I don't do religions. There's no philosophy. I help you understand and improve yourself so you can make your own decisions. I kind of blew the minds. It's like, wow, that's not out there yet. And I said, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's here now. That's all that matters. Sometimes we're hungry waiting for something to eat, but as soon as the plate's there and it's full, that's what matters, is that it gets there. And it doesn't matter who the wait. I mean, hopefully you have a nice waiter, waitress, whatever, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that you get the food. So I talk with these folks. I'm knocking the rest of them all the time. I talk with everything on the other side. I'm all over the place. The field is literally part of me. So the field goes through everything. So when I've told people what's wrong with them, their body and health issues and stuff, I tell them which vertebrae is screwed up and what angle they're at and what the problem is, and especially when I've talked to doctors and stuff, that freaks them out. Whatever, millionaires, blah blah blah. The thing is, that's what I am, where I'm at, and as you do a little research looking at me, you'll understand that this is just real. No big deal, but it's real. So I hope if you can reach an understanding for yourself regarding that, then you'll tend to have more of an understanding, a little bit of faith in some of the stuff I tell you about these other folks, the Annunaki. They started as from one planet and scattered, move around a little bit. Right now, what they're basically calling their home world is in a Pleiades. Sorry, I just jerked up a little bit. It's the field part of me kind of pushing me. It's the Pleiades galaxy. So you can actually say the Pleiadians, but they're reptilians. They're maybe 6 to 8 foot. Average height might be 8 foot. What's the average height here on this planet? They have thick scales, strong ones. Some bodies, larger scales than others. They can be a darker tan color, a little bit of brown in there, to something really, really deep brown, to the point of looking almost black. The Drak are more like that, the really dark, really super dark greens. And black, but I mean it's black, but it's got other colors in there too. But they're dragon DNA. The Anunnaki are reptilian. The Anunnaki people themselves are really cool, wonderful people. Very compassionate. They're old. They're one of the older, not oldest, but older races. Okay, they've been around a while. They have a wonderful culture. They're reptilian DNA, so they're aggressive. If you're going to give one a hard time and they get tired of it, they're going to get pretty aggressive. They want to show compassion and care for others, protect others. They get real aggressive about that too. They give compassion and love with that same aggression, that same power behind it. No matter where you go, who you meet, I don't care if it's bakers, mechanics, lawyers, astronauts, scientists, whatever. No matter what group you go to, there's always some people in there that got some issues. That's because spirit is inside the body causing problems. Plus, in people's lives, they've been given problems. So anyway, the ones that were running this planet until very recently, they pretty much had their way running things around here for about 10.25 million years, a little under that, I guess, maybe right around there. I don't know, and I don't care to look to try to break it down. That's how long they were in charge of most or all the planet. They've been in charge of all the planet for a long time. They came here when Lemuria was being settled. Some of them were here earlier. The ones that were here earlier were pretty cool, but there was like a huge fleet of these pirates. I call them problematic Annunaki. I used to call them Annunanis in the beginning, just to be, just to tee them off. I've telepathically, astral projecting. I've had them here in the house. I've met the Anunnaki ambassador twice. That's not physical. That's metaphysical. His ship was over the house at one point, 150 foot away, and then it went up to 200. The walls, not just the windows, the walls of this house were shaking. It was at night. As you start to awaken, you start to wonder, is this real? What's happening? And you find out it is. And after it keeps happening enough, you just don't worry about it. When I was first dealing with that original first being, male and female, when I first started waking up, I had to deal with them directly because of what I am. What I am inside here, they made in the very beginning. It's Arae. They made what I really am inside, not this beat up, trashy body, to serve and protect whatever they wanted. And I kept getting beat, so I kept getting stronger, and they made me really strong to start with, that's all. So I make a damn good janitor, because I care about everything, and I want to keep things clean. Whatever, right? But I want to do my job. I always will do my job the best I can, but I'm almost always in body. I've had more lives than anyone else, 10.846 trillion. Okay, moving along. When I first met them, I knew there was a problem. People try to do the best they can to understand things. Some people are con artists. Some people just blatant liars. Some people just want attention. They don't care what comes out of their mouth. Some people have their own little agenda for whatever. I don't know. I don't care. It's not my problem. But because I am what I am, and I've proven this over years to a lot of people, when you're strong enough where Homeland Security and FBI come and knock on your front door together, yeah, you got someone's attention. But see, everyone has these abilities. So it's important to me that you find these for yourself. These people have cranked up. Their abilities are just going through the roof. I'm not doing consults anymore. I'm really close to being able to drop this body and get out of here. Not quite. Still got to finish writing the third book. Put the windows and stuff in the house. Finish the house up for Deanna. A couple little things here and there. I've got most of the big stuff done. Anyway, but then I'll be able to get out of here and go to work for you the way I'm supposed to. The way I need to as myself. All of us are spirit inside a body. It's like a prison. And we have good days, okay? You have to have good days. Otherwise, from the age of 10 years old, everybody would be trying to kill themselves, get out of the body. Remember, I used to get told, God will never give you more than you can handle. I'm like, okay, what do you call suicide? Anyway, so the Anunnaki. because there's a lot of people coming in and out, because there's a lot more behind everything I say, I tend to connect things together like that. The Anunnaki are really cool. They're wonderful people. If you could ever meet the Anunnaki ambassador, he has so much compassion. Now, he's strong. Call him a wuss, you're I'm not going to say you're being silly. You're just being stupid or ignorant. Very strong. He's not the tallest of the Anunnaki, but he's strong. Very strong. And he actually cares. So, I've made videos where I was talking with him, but if you go to my channel, just search Anunnaki Ambassador. And Anunnaki spelled A-N-N Annunaki. A-N-N-U-N-A-K-I. So, a lot of people have called them the Sumerian gods. No, they weren't. As a matter of fact, the ones that used to call themselves still do. The great Sumerian gods were the Enoch, which are more human-like. It's like a cross between human and Serpoian. The Serpoian are what most people call the Greys. Folks, I have these people coming in and out. They can make a body. They can be interdimensional, but so close to this dimension, even though you can't see them, you turn around, you hit them. I mean, physically, you feel them. Bam. So, whoops, sorry. And then you just relax. You can see who it is. All this stuff is coming for everybody now, soon. This thing about the soul catching that, folks, it's crap. It's garbage. It's bullshit. It doesn't exist. The reason why I say that with a little bit of aggression, that kind of garbage, it's ruining the wonderful thing that's happening here soon when you all get to meet them. We know these people. Deanna and I do. We live here. This is our house. They come. They're welcome. They know that. They come all the time. Last night, the Arcobian came over. You can learn about the Arcobian. I got a video I put together. I got to review it, go through it, make sure that it's good to go. And then I'll post it. I talk about a lot of different races. As a matter of fact, I can probably remember them, but my memory is getting worse and worse every day. The more I shut down, the harder it is for me to do everything. There's the Anunnaki, Drak, Nantid, Mantid, Serpoian, Serpatian, Illyrian, Subterranean, Arcobian, Enoch, and Draconian. The Draconian are not the Drak. They're the Drak imitators. They want to seem like they are. They're in deep, they're over their head in caustic water. But the Anunnaki, they're really cool, they're really strong, and they're wonderful people. Just because there's been some problematic ones here running the planet, don't think that Anunnaki are bad. That's like an army of 500 Earthlings going to another planet and just tearing stuff up and being really horrible people that need to just die. That's like them going there and then people there saying, "Oh, all humans, all Earth and humans are bad," and that's incorrect. But you understand why they say it. You want some power? Understanding. Understanding is the greatest power there is. And it comes through the heart. I was going to say the heart, you might say, is the greatest power, but heart and understanding and the hypothalamus gland in your brain, in that region, that's understanding. I've explained that in my videos too, how your brain works metaphysically. Wait till you see this third book. This third book is unreal. It teaches you everything, what glands produce what metaphysical abilities or powers in your body, how the power flows through your body, and we know a lot about stones. I already got a couple stone videos out. I'll hopefully get another one done before I'm finished, but I still have some stuff to do, and I'm not going to be here much longer, so I wish I could, I don't like that word. I would be really happy and satisfied if I could make this video, stone video, this third one out, put it out. Power stones, then understanding stone energy are the two that are available at thespiritualfoundation.com right now. And it gives you information. How do you feel it? How do you talk to stone? How do you talk to stone? How do you look at it? Feel what's in there? How can you communicate with it? Book number 2. It's the bluish one over there is book number 2. Just go to thespiritualfoundation.com. I know I keep saying that like a commercial. It's not a commercial. I had to write these books. I had to compile this information. I had to kill stuff on the other side. And I had to go into as many of you and crank you up, make you stronger, and give you all the info I could before I left this body. So all this guy's arrogant. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you what it is. Time proves what I'm saying, and I don't need to be here. This isn't about me. I love to talk to people, but I'm not about the attention. I really would have enjoyed being able to do more events when I was here where I could sit down and talk with people. When I do, they just soak up everything I say with a sponge, but I was always hoping it would be more interactive so I could answer questions. The field is part of me. What you call the Akashic Records is information hanging out in the field. But at least I'm leaving a lot of info on YouTube. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm at the end of my life. And I've tried so hard to do everything I could for everybody. That's how I feel, honestly. Like janitor, that's all I am. I'm no better than a stick in the mud. Don't want to be. None of us are any better than each other. We can do things better than someone else, but we're not better. We're not better for that. We better ourselves by improving what we can do, but we'll never have any more value than anything else in creation. If you don't have that equality, then you have nothing. The creation cannot stand properly and grow properly. Anyway, the Anunnaki again. So they're really cool people. Like I said, they've been here for forever. It seems like forever. Over 10.25 million years. About 10.25 million years they've been here. There's also been a resistance force here for, let's just say, for 1 million years. Okay. It's more than that, but it's like when I say resistance force, what's the definition for that? What are the parameters? Let's just say resistance force. There's always been stuff here resisting against them, some of their own people. Some of the cool ones are the folks out in Australia. There's a real cool group of a clan of Annunaki here. They came from the problematic group, but a lot of the people that wanted to stay away from all these controlling Anunnaki idiots, the 7 controlling clans, they just started migrating out there, and they're import exporters as far as like produce, stuff like that. They don't get involved with animal, people, experiments and crap like that. And the other stuff, the Anunnaki dynasties have been broken down now, destroyed. They can claim they're still together, whatever. The few that are here, still left here and haven't been taken away or hiding. And there's still a few of them. But the Arkansas clan, the man that runs that, the Anunnaki that runs it, he's a male Anunnaki. He's a friend of mine. He's huge. It's like the size of a house. Don't go telling anyone else I just said he's 30 foot tall, okay? No. But he's huge. He's huge. And then there's the female that runs the Russian clan, that she's still around. They were both already decided to work, to get rid of the clan system, but nobody knew it. And then, of course, Australia, they've stayed out of it. Now, there's smaller clans, too, running around where they've always had open minds. The California clan had some issues near the end. They always had issues, and near the end, they were backing off a little bit. But and the ones from Nevada were really a pain in the butt. Ones in Florida had to do with communications. All this stuff's in book number 3, but in more detail. But anyway, there were 6 main worker groups. There was all these prisoners from other planets. Different people, salesmen, so to speak, would go out to different planets, find really good scientists, geneticists and stuff, and they say, hey, look, we're going to offer you all these jewels, whatever they use. We're going to take your family, put them in this beautiful house. We're going to take care of them. We want to hire you. And we're going to send them money. We're going to send you money. You can go see them whenever you want, but hopefully not more than 3 or 4 times a year, Earth year, because we have a lot of work to do, yada, yada, yada. So they see that the family gets taken care of. Then they take off with the Annunaki, or they take off with the people they're with. They come down here and go usually underneath one of our military bases. And they go down real deep, and then they shut the door, the prisoners. There's generations of these prisoners, scientist prisoners that have been living, slaves, that have been living under a lot of military bases, not all of them by any means, but under a lot of them. There's a FEMA camp in Atlanta that's really interesting. FEMA, they're here to give us aid, right? Yeah, and they have Constantine wire and armed guards around it. This is down from my house. I'm like, whatever. So, there's a lot of Annunaki people that are down there. Well, that were down under the ground. That were prisoners, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of them are freed. Still, some of them aren't, but it's getting handled. It's more handled than not now. 2015, some fighting was starting. More serious fighting was starting with the resistance. Their heaviest fighting in this country was around San Francisco, in the Bay Area. And it's been going on until just recently, and then the folks down there, the Anunnaki down there, got the problematic Anunnaki got their backs broke, so to speak. Drak came down here with Neantids and others, and that was it. Drak are crazy powerful. The Drak are over 2,857 trillion years old, Earth years old as a race. That's 2.857 trillion, thousand trillion. 2,857 trillion. Quadrillions come after trillions. I didn't know. I had to look it up. That's about how many years any kind of spirit, which is sentient energy that became developed into a sentient thing, has been in a body. That's when it started. On a planet called Gaia. That Essonite and the star Essonite that Deanna sells, that's what it is. That's where it comes from. It's got them in it. Get a piece of that and get the book, and you can learn how to talk with stone. What you're doing is talking with the spirit of the material that's inside the material itself. The spirit talks through the material that has its energy in it. That's how it really happens. We have Gaia here on Earth. All planets are going to be female universal essence, which is planetary essence. If there's a huge stone like Nibiru, not Nibiru, but Nibiru, it's a rock. It's never had life in it. So that being the case, it's got life on it. It's not going to hit us. There's a race that's in there now. They're called the Sapacient. They're problematic Anunnaki. Before they came here to the, I was going to say to the U.S., to the Earth, and they were here in massive density. There's still a good bit of them here. Before they were here, they'd be on Nibiru, and as Nibiru has a weird elliptical orbit, and they just like pirates take off from there raid other places, almost like the old Vikings here. But now the Sapacine are there. It's like the Antids. The Hopi book talks about the Antids, same beings. Anyway, so the Anunnaki, they're cool people. We just had some problematic ones here. They were not the Sumerian gods. As I said earlier, that was the Enoch. Short, about 4 foot tall. I explain all this in another video I'm going to release in just a little bit, but I talk about all the different ones that I'm aware of. There's over 200 races that are here right now on the planet, right around the planet doing stuff. But these are people I know. These are people I talk with, some of them daily. So when you talk with others, you can go through the pineal to get basic message, but you can get better message going through the scanner. And again, like I said, I got videos out there that explains how that works. And then, of course, in book number 3, I'm still writing it. I really define that stuff. Folks, this stuff isn't anywhere else. If you want it, that's the only place you're going to find it. Soon, next 5 years, there's going to be people teaching classes. I've worked with a lot of people over the years. It's time for me to go, but it's time for them to really start working more. It's time for them to come alive harder like everyone else. So when you see the Anunnaki, understand, and a very large, strong Anunnaki is like 8 foot plus tall. Okay, they can be an easy 850, 900 pounds. The Drak, you'll find Drak 1,400 pounds. Some of them 1,800 pounds. Some of them are huge. When they had the big claw coming out the back of the heel for a lot of them. All the bodies have changed. Like I said, the Drak are over 2.857 quadrillion years, Earth years old. Different planets have different diameter. They're different sizes, different increased diameters and whatnot. So as the planet turns, it makes a day. So some days are longer than others. And then you make a year off of that. So we live here on Earth, and that's what we're used to. So that's what I'm talking in. Most planets, we also read right to the left, up, right to the left, up, right to the left, up. But over here we go the opposite. Dyslexia is you dealing with that part of you that's in your body dealing with going the wrong way, because it's when you get near the end, all of a sudden you jerk back and forth. Your spirit inside says, wait a minute, this is wrong. And then the other spirit that was inside you says, whoa, what's going on? You're going to find out there's less and less of that, because the planetary essence, that's the second part of your Kundalini, is being pulled out of all your bodies. So as a matter of fact, it's only days for that's finished. Wow. Can't believe I've said this much that quick. So people don't, there's no such soul catcher thing. What was the original first being, male and female? What people are calling God, it's gone, it's dead. They're original angels that were their servants that they used to control and tear the hell out of you. They're dead, gone or dead. So most all of them have been deleted. You're so free, you're not aware yet. But the more you wake up, the more you'll understand you can do. There's no better time for you to be in a body than right now. It's never been that good. You have more freedom right now than you've ever had before. While you're in a body or while you're out of your body on the other side. When you go home, depending on where you're at and what you're doing, 92 to 78% of everything on the other side is gone now. It all depends on how you look at it, actually. For what was out of body on the other side, 92% of it's gone. For all the spirit that's in creation, 78% of it's gone. Ain't coming back. Everything that was giving you a hard time is no longer here. So, anyway, you're going to meet the Anunnaki soon. Remember, we look ugly to most of the other races, just as they might look freaky to us. Those of us that still have issues with skin color, get ready to go to school. Anyway, that's the basics of the Anunnaki race. Like I said in the book, I talk a lot more about them. As time goes on, you will meet them in person. The next 100 years is very strong, but this is happening this year. This year that you're going to find out we're not alone. Could be the very end of December or near it or sooner. I'm not in charge of that. But I do know it's going to happen then. It's going to be made to happen. There's a new alliance. I know a lot about that. I was right there when it formed, right there in the middle of it. The old federation they had was selling timeshares for other races like the Enog to come down here to the earth and start butchering animals, people, abducting them. They paid for it. They got permits, so to speak, from this wonderful federation that these other people talk about. And people that talk about them, they're not nitwits. They just don't understand. I'm ignorant about a lot of stuff. I can't build a rocket ship. I can't build an airplane. Being ignorant to something means you're unaware. We take so many words and turn them into crap. It's all about abuse, control, and aggressiveness towards someone else. Well, that's panning out, going away. Well, folks, that's the Anunnaki. Really cool people with some bad eggs that were here, and they've been taken out. There's almost nothing left of them. These problematic Anunnaki, almost all of them are gone. None of them control much of anything here at all anymore. And they are very soon going to be permanently removed, with the few that are left, from the rest of the planet. Sorry, my heart's getting stupid now. Well, anyway, that's the Anunnaki. Cool, awesome people that have been given a bad name, mostly by fearmongers or people who wanted attention on the internet, also by the original first being male and female when they were alive. They've been dead since May of 2013. But your governments wanted that too. They wanted to control the Anunnaki that were here. They wanted you to fear the Anunnaki that are coming. The Anunnaki that were a problem were already here. And now they're destroyed. Folks, love you. I hope you have a good day. Just take the time to relax. Take a full natural breaths. Be in a quiet place. Close your eyes, relax, and just let go of yourself. That sets your brain to the energy level, frequency that it needs to be so you can talk to your spirit guides. And your animal spirit guides, most intelligent, honorable things there are to talk to out there. Folks, love you, man. Take care.